Well, today we're going to show you, in my opinion, what is the easiest way to get started in the team circuit, and that is to start at your local pro shop. So let's go inside and say hello. We have a local pro shop that's run by John Galbraith, the Anglers Pro Shop here in town, and it's just an exceptional store. But what you get to do is you get to meet the owners, find out about local fishing and how to get started with the circuits.
Team circuits are easy to get started in. It's just they can be expensive. You got to have a bass boat that's capable of holding bass. Probably $1,000 worth of tackle to get you going with rods and reels and quality equipment.
Is there any stories you'd like to share about maybe taking Wesley fishing?
When Wesley was quite young, I was contracted to take him fishing so he could catch the biggest bass he ever caught. We did catch that fish. It was a 4-pounder, but unfortunately, our first excursion out, it was cold and he managed to fall out of the boat in the water, but he thought he had a fish on, so he was up to his neck in water reeling with the reel over his head. So he's committed to the sport.
Which gives us a great segue into one of our kids corners, which we're going to have on the show. We're going to offer every show that we shoot, we're going to do a little kids corner, and we're huge on safety, and one of the things we're going to talk about is life jackets, and Wesley's agreed to do a little segment for the kids on life jackets. And on this occasion that he's referring to, he's not making that up. Wesley actually fell out of the boat into the water, and he had his life jacket on. Even though they weren't running under power and under, quote, law, they weren't required to wear it, it's a good idea. Okay, we just launched from Windsor South Ramp, Lake Havasu City, and we're on Lake Havasu, obviously. What we're going to do is we're going to start our first stop in what's called the Leonard Bridge Channel. There should be some beds in there. We can see some of the fish on the beds, and we ought to be able to flip a few of them in there. Yeah, we'll just give them an idea of what we're doing. Did you see that bass right there? That was a bass. We're going to actually show some of the baits. We're not going to make a big secret of it. I actually want the folks to know what we're doing. And the way we're going to rig this bait is on a spot jig head. Simply take the bait, lay it in your hand and bring it up on this collar, and then just twist it on. Get it straight, it's laying there. Now what we're going to do is take the hook, look about where it's going to go in to the bait itself. We're going to start there, bring it back through, and what we want is the bait to lay flat, just like that. Slightly exposed hook tip. So we set the hook on the slider line. What we're using on this rig today, we're using a Shimano Calais with 8-pound fluorocarbon line. We're going to work the bait. And we'll get this fish fired up, and then we're going to see if we can get him to go. Shouldn't take a whole lot of time, probably. The smallmouth bass in this lake are extremely aggressive. Okay, there's a fish right there. What this is a typical Lake Havasu smallmouth. The fishery, as I said, has just been spectacular as far as these fish reproducing. And this is just a beautiful smallmouth, very aggressive fish, and just beautiful. We'll get her back in the water. This is probably a male guarding the bed. What we're going to do is, I know another cove that was in the tournament last week, had a lot of fish in it. We're going to run over there real quick, see if we can get some. You ready to go, Wes?
Yes, sir.
Let's go rip some lips. We got a little trick we can use. Another one of those little tips the other guys aren't going to talk about on those big fishing shows, I can guarantee you that. What we're going to do is we're going to use a little West Coast trick. We're going to use an imitation sunfish rigged a certain way. And we're going to make that fish believe that there's a red ear marauding the nest. What I did was we've taken a swivel and a split ring, put a frog hook. This is a frog hook on the back of the bait, because they'll grab it by the tail and they'll shake it off the bed. Sometimes they'll eat it from the front. As you can see, this one's been wore out a little bit. But we're going to make this fish believe that there's a big old bluegill messing with her nest, and right now that fish is a little upset after getting hooked, but we'll see if we can make it upset even more. Well, we got it to look, and that's a good thing. What we're gonna do is right now, it's called the bait and switch. Now that I have that fish just absolutely going nuts on that bait, I'm gonna do something a little heavier. This is a 15-pound mono with a bed bait on it. Excellent. Good job, Weston. This is an excellent small fish. Here's a phenomenal fish, actually. This is the kind of fish that this fish has got to be 4 pounds, and just a beautiful, beautiful fish. Mouth is clean, just beautiful. This is the kind of smallmouth that guys will drive a long ways to catch. What she was reviving them, but we'll give it a kiss. Get back in the water, revive this fish. As you can see, it's very, very healthy. And one thing you want to do is just revive them, get them in the water, hold them, they'll bite you, they're very aggressive, and let them swim out of your hand.
She's already back on her bed. She's sitting there, and she'll live to see another day.
Oh, another nice smallmouth. It's not on a bed though, son of a gun. Ooh, that's a big one. Oh shit, I got a fish. No bed. I got one, so I'll just bounce him. Oh, that's very good. Nice smallmouth. This was these are called bonus fish. What I did was I saw a fish working off that ledge, and there was no bed there, but I saw one, and I actually, while I was watching another one, I thought I got hung up in the rocks. And so we call that as bonus fish. Lake House, another beautiful smallmouth.